Support WrestleTalk!
Donate on Patreon.
Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk Mecha News! I am Luke Owen. We've got a packed show for you today with the rumors of Dolph Ziggler turning down a WWE offer, details of Mike and Maria Kanellis and The Revival asking for their releases, and an interesting tidbit about Andrade's current push and the advice he gave to one of his wrestling buddies. But first, as you will have heard no less than 1,000 times from this past Monday's Raw, the world of superheroes is about to be shattered as Glass is out in cinemas today. Ollie El Fakador and myself were lucky enough to be invited to an early screening of the movie this past Wednesday, and you can hear our full review on the intro of the NXT Wrestle Ramble review podcast, a link for which can be found in the video description below. But in short, the whole film is shot like this. Fight scenes look like Sir Digby Chicken Caesar, and everything M. Night wanted to say about superhero movies he said in Unbreakable nearly 2 decades ago. But James McAvoy is very good in it. I give it a big Alan Partridge shrug. Perhaps Mortal Kombat 11 will get better reviews, which got its first gameplay reveal yesterday at a big event attended by AEW's Cody and Brandy Rhodes, as well as WWE wrestlers Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Zelina Vega. But while Cody and Chief Brandy Officer were happy to go dressed sharply, Woods, Kofi, and Vega went in cosplay, with Xavier dressing as Shao Kahn, Kingston as Shang Tsung,
Your brother's soul is mine.
and Zelina posing as Jade. Also at the gameplay reveal for Mortal Kombat 11 was the confirmation that Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey is voicing Sonya Blade in the game. Here's a clip.
Hi, Sonya Blade calling in air support. Sonya Blade was the first kick-ass girl that I saw come onto the scene, and I've always admired her and admittedly kind of emulated her in my own way, and now I get to try and be her.
Speaking on the live stream for the event, Ronda said, "I've been a lifelong Mortal Kombat fan, and Sonya Blade was the first kick-ass female video game character that I related to. Now I get to voice her in Mortal Kombat 11. It's a dream come true to be part of the Mortal Kombat franchise that I grew up playing." Rousey will next defend her Raw Women's Championship against Sasha Banks at the Royal Rumble in Phoenix a week from Sunday. But the day before that will be NXT TakeOver Phoenix, which features a stacked card including Tommaso Ciampa defending his NXT Championship against Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano vying for Ricochet's North American Championship, Bianca Belair looking to stay undefeated when she challenges for Shayna Baszler's NXT Women's Championship, and the Undisputed Era defending their tag team championships against the War Raiders. And it was announced via WWE.com yesterday that the King of Bros will take on Cassius Ohno, following on from Ohno attacking Riddle a couple of weeks ago and cheating to beat Keith Lee on this week's show. And that NXT TakeOver card will likely help WWE score another record amount of 4-star plus matches in next year's Wrestling Observer newsletter. Dave Meltzer has revealed in his latest newsletter that the quality of wrestling in 2018 raised to new levels, with him awarding a record 252 matches 4 stars and above, with New Japan earning 118 of those, followed by WWE in second place, with PWG, ROH, and CMLL filling out the top 5. Just missing out on the top 10 highest scoring wrestlers were AJ Styles, Ricochet, Marty Scurll, Kyle O'Reilly, Tetsuya Naito, Minoru Suzuki, and WWE's latest signee Kushida. But who was in the top 10? Let's count them down. In 10th place with 13 matches is the newest IWGP Heavyweight Champion and the owner of the best hair in wrestling, Hiroshi Tanahashi. In joint 7th place with 14 matches each, it's Matt and Nick Jackson and NXT UK's newest behemoth, Walter. Just missing out on the top 5 is the former British Heavyweight Champion Tomohiro Ishii with 15, who was bested at Wrestle Kingdom 13 by 5th place's Zack Sabre Jr. with 17 matches. In at number 4 is Kazuchika Okada with 20, never openweight champion and thrower of wonderful Rev Pro after parties Will Ospreay took 3rd place with 22, and in a surprising twist, two wrestlers actually came joint first, with both earning 25 matches over the 4-star rating. It's the Golden Lovers of Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. Although he came fourth this year, Meltzer notes that barring injury, Okada is on track to earn himself the accolade of highest rated wrestler in history in the next couple of years. Currently on 101 matches behind Kawada's 129, Misawa's 139, and Kenta Kobashi's 142.
Godzilla versus King Kong. Oh, and Killer Cross drops Cage and Cage is back up. This up. Look at Cross deciding to live to fight another day. Cross, oh my God. Oh, Impact fueled by what Killer Cross did to Taya Valkyrie this past Sunday. There's a human being underneath those chairs. No, there's not. There's a psychotic, monstrous freak under those chairs. Oh my Jesus. Oh my God. Cross is up. What is this? And Cross is helping Johnny Impact fill the ring with steel chairs. Moose! And Moose just... Oh my God! My God! What's Moose's play in this whole story?
And that was your Impact Wrestling preview of the week, which will see the continuation of the war for the World Championship between Johnny Impact, Brian Cage, and Killer Cross. Last week's Impact was also the first one to feature on their new home of the Pursuit channel, but with such a small reach, it's being reported that it's impossible to find out how many people actually watch the show. And as reported from Homecoming, the show was simultaneously broadcast on Impact Wrestling's Twitch channel, with Dave Meltzer noting in The Observer that the show brought in around 20,000 viewers on the Friday and another 19,000 on Saturday, which is up from their usual Twitch numbers. It was also good news for WWE's cruiserweight brand 205 Live, which cracked into the top 10 most watched things on the WWE network this week, something it doesn't often do, though it was beaten by repeats of Edge and Christian's show and TLC 2018. This was also the first week where it was moved back to its Tuesday night slot and aired live after SmackDown, which former cruiserweight champion Cedric Alexander seemed unaware of. As to why the show was moved back to Tuesdays rather than being taped in advance of SmackDown in front of a hotter crowd, Mike Johnson of PW Insider is reporting that it was a Vince McMahon call, as he wants there to be live programming on the WWE network. And after accidentally spoiling their own surprise that Humberto Carrillo will be debuting for the brand to challenge Buddy Murphy, he has been re-added to the Worlds Collide tournament over Royal Rumble Access weekend. Johnson also adds that there is talk of adding 1 or 2 more names to the 205 Live brand, but there is no time frame on those debuts. Someone who won't be one of those 2 names, however, is Rush, who recently signed an exclusive 1-year deal with Ring of Honor. Rush was one of MLW's top prospects, looking to be pushed as one of their top stars in 2019, particularly at their April 4th show, which was built around his match with LA Park. Interestingly, Meltzer writes in the latest Observer that part of Rush's reason to sign with Ring of Honor was actually due to his friendship with the former Cien Almas Andrade. According to Meltzer, Andrade warned both Rush and his brother Dragon Lee from signing with WWE, noting that it wasn't what it was cracked up to be. Meltzer theorizes that this might explain the recent push of Andrade on SmackDown, as this wrestling world is now a far more competitive landscape, with AEW, Ring of Honor, and others signing talents to exclusive deals. And a talent like Andrade would have had a lot of options for when his contract expires. Someone who is jumping on the All Elite train is Jake Perry, the son of 90210 and Riverdale's Luke Perry, who is reportedly set to sign with the company in the next few days. Perry, who wrestles under the name Jungle Boy, is said to be inexperienced but with a great look and natural charisma, and is reportedly set to be a Cody project after the two work together at APW shows. On the other end of the experience scale is ECW original Tommy Dreamer, who appeared in Cody's corner for his NWA title match at All In, as well as the the budget battle royal, and is someone who has recently expressed an interest in working for AEW on Busted Open Radio.
I have spoken with Matt and Cody about doing stuff for there, and I said, whenever you guys need me, I'm happy to help. They're 2 great human beings.
Wow.
They really are. Cody, I've known since he was a little kid. His father was my hero. His father was my friend. I will do anything for those guys because I love them. And they want me there, I'm there. If there's not a spot for me, trust me, I get it. My own last show at House of Hardcore, you know who didn't wrestle? Me.
It was also reported recently that 4 WWE stars had asked for their release from the company, presumably so they could all jump ship to All Elite Wrestling. 2 of those names were Mike and Maria Kanellis, who both recently moved to 205 Live but have not been seen on TV in recent weeks. According to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, this is likely due to the fact that Mike asked for his release a few weeks ago but was turned down. Johnson adds that he has been told that although the former Mike Bennett does want to leave WWE, he actually has his eyes set on returning to Ring of Honor rather than going to AEW. It's also interesting to note that PW Insider claimed that Maria Kanellis has not asked for her release, and she posted on Twitter in response to someone asking about the rumor, "Everyone thinks they know everything, ha 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 ha." The other 2 names rumored to have asked for their release is The Revival. Fightful's initial report was that they had heard there was some fear among wrestlers backstage that Dash and Dawson wanted to leave, but Dave Meltzer has written in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter that after their win over Kalisto and Metalik on Raw, while still in their gear, The Revival asked for their release. Meltzer adds that this has also been turned down, and the word he's been given is that nobody who asks for their release right now is expected to be given it for obvious reasons. PW Insider has also corroborated this report, with Mike Johnson noting that the Revival spoke with WWE management about their unhappiness with the company and their wishes to be released. But while those releases have reportedly been turned down, a new report says that Dolph Ziggler is out the door very soon. Mike Johnson has reported on PW Insider that there has been a lot of talk this week that Dolph Ziggler is done with WWE after turning down an offer to become a producer. Ziggler was last seen on Raw last month being beaten down inside a steel cage by Drew McIntyre. Since then, he's not been on the house show circuit, has removed the name Dolph Ziggler from his social media accounts, and has embarked on another stand-up comedy tour. PW Insider sources have varied in their reports on this subject, with some saying that he hasn't talked about exiting the company at all, while others are saying that although he remains under WWE contract, that will end on January 31st. Johnson writes time will tell, but there are some who believe he is done. You can hear more about those 4 names looking to leave WWE by clicking the video on screen right now. I've been Luke Owen, and that was Mecha Wrestling!